Hello, Durud and Shalom. Guys, I think many of you have already heard this. This is a big news, a very big news. This has caused a major explosion on social media, and not just Iranian social media, by the way. This is trending in politics, global politics in general. I don't know if you've seen this. Let me know if you've seen this. These two soldiers in the subway station in Tehran, Iran. Uh, have you guys seen this? Because I'm gonna play this and translate it for you guys. So, in a rare act of defiance against Iran's regime or the Islamic Republic, basically, two Iranian Air Force officers, and by the way, guys, this has now been confirmed that they are Air Force officers. Because a lot of people were trying to act like this is fake, this is AI. These are people who just got a uniform and they're not part of the army. And it has been confirmed that they are actually Air Force officers. They openly raised the historic lion and sun flag of Iran. Hold on, we should adjust the camera. Where's my flag? There we go. That's better. Of Iran, the symbol of pre-revolution Iran, pre-Islamic revolution of Iran, in Tehran Metro station, and played a speech by the former Shah. So they're also okay. So let's watch this. Actually, let's watch this one because I know this is good quality. Guys, let me know in the chat if you guys have seen this or not. Have you guys seen this? Are you guys aware of this? Has this crossed your social media feed at all? Let me see who's in the chat. Let me actually respond to you guys. Yeah, I know there were Artesh, not Sepahi. Yes, of course. Good. There's some hoping. Yeah, guys, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, especially because their reaction to it was so positive. Like, Iranian people are reacting to this and they're loving this. And this is a huge deal. This is a huge deal because the main thing that we're waiting to see is if any of the armed forces are going to turn against the regime. So the crack is happening, and I actually have a couple of examples to show to you guys, right? And guys, by the way, in Iran we have two military institutions. One of them is the Artesh and the other one is the IRGC. The Artesh is a patriotic army that existed in Iran before the Islamic Revolution, and the IRGC is not about Iran, it's about Islam. So we have IRGC that its main goal is to expand the territory of 12er Shia Islam in the Middle East and to destroy Israel and all of that stuff. And then we have the Artesh, which was originally designed to protect the border integrity of Iran. And it's a patriotic, nationalistic unit that is not there to expand Islam, but to protect Iran. So we have two armies in Iran. And a lot of Iranians are hoping that someday the Artesh, which is less ideological, less Islamic than the IRGC, at some point will rise up and join the people. Right? So, yes. Oh, that's a good summary. Somebody in the chat saying Artesh, normal national army, normal national military, IRGC, Islamic army. Basically, IRGC is a terrorist organization. Okay, so Jewish Samantha is asking a good question. I'm going to try to answer your questions today because it's very important to understand this. Jewish Samantha in the chat saying, what about the Basijis? The Basijis are part of the IRGC. So the IRGC has many different units. For example, the Quds Force is the part of the IRGC that operates outside of the borders of Iran. The Basij is the moral police arm of the IRGC. That's what the Basij is. The Basij is the moral police arm, and many of them are plainclothes office personnel of IRGC, and that's what they do. So that's what the Basij is. Yes. So now let's look at these two Arteshis, these two members of Artesh in Tehran. And guys, please understand how brave this is, because the punishment for what they're doing is execution, and they know it. These two men woke up that morning put on their uniform, picked up the real flag of Iran, not the Islamic flag of the Islamic Republic, the real lion and sun flag of Iran, went in Tehran. They went into the metro station. They raised the flag and they played the speech of the former king of Iran, the Shah. So somebody is saying, what does Artesh mean? Artesh just means it's just a Persian word for military or army, one of those two. That's what it is. Anyway, so let's watch this video. Yeah, they have been arrested, D. They have been arrested. I will show you the video of their arrest as well. So let's watch this video. So you can see the speaker in the corner. That is the speech of the former king of Iran, the Shah, being played. All right, so you hear somebody, and I'm going to explain this to you guys in a way that it has never been explained. Anyway, let me actually play it one all the way through, and then I'll translate what's happening. Okay, second by second, I will tell you what's happening. Okay.
خیلی دل دارم خیلی دل دارم
All right, so now let's go through it and explain what's happening. Let's go through it and explain what's happening second by second, okay? So they put the speaker down, and the speaker is playing a speech from the former Shah of Iran, from the Pahlavi time. And by the way, this has become now a norm, because I will show you a video of Omid Sarlak, who was executed for doing something very similar. And this is why what they're doing is very brave. This is the red line. Let me tell you something for people who are new here. The new red line for the Islamic Republic is not you being anti-Islam. I mean, it's still dangerous, but not as much as before. Taking off the hijab is normalized in Iran. Still sometimes dangerous, but not as much. Being anti-Islam is normalized in Iran. Still sometimes dangerous, but not as much, because it's just too many of them. Too many people dancing, singing. All of these have become so normal in Iran that the Islamic Republic is incapable to fight against it. So these are not the red lines, okay? The current existing big taboos in Iran are two things: support for Pahlavi and supporting Israel, right? So that's why these two men are extremely brave, because this is something that the Islamic Republic cannot tolerate: supporting Israel and supporting Pahlavi. And that's why these two men are extremely brave right now. This is basically as dangerous as saying anti-Islamic things in Iran 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago. That's how dangerous this is, right? So let's see what's happening. Okay, so they put the speaker down. So somebody is shouting, "Durbin makhfiye, durbin makhfiye." So they're basically asking if this is a hidden camera, meaning, is this a prank? Okay, so that's what they're asking. They're asking if this is a prank. So they're literally are saying "Durbin makhfiye," meaning, is there a hidden camera somewhere? Basically translating into if this is a prank. So now he is answering, no, there's no hidden camera, meaning that this is not a prank. This is a fight against saying مبارزه or مقابله. مبارزه با رژیم تبهکار جمهوری اسلامی means that this is a fight against the corrupt regime of the guardianship of the jurist. So if you guys don't know, basically meaning the Islamic Republic. I'm not going to go into why he's saying the guardianship of the jurist. If you know, you know. Or do you want me to explain that? The guardianship of the jurist is a version of Shia, 12er Shia Islam, or Ethno Ashari version of Shia Islam, which was invented by Khomeini to justify why the mullahs should be ruling over the country. Okay, so he's saying that this is a fight against that entire concept, the entire system. Yeah, so Mehran is writing it in Persian. Regime tabahkar velayat faqih. Thank you, Mehran. All right, guys, if you have any questions, ask about this. Ask me in the chat because I want everybody to really have a good understanding about what's happening in Iran. Okay, so if you have any questions, write it, and I will try to answer your questions. Okay. So somebody just said, I think it seems like the cameraman or somebody close to the cameraman is saying "dametun gam," meaning that he's praising them, basically saying like really good job or something like that, right? All right, so here's an interesting part. The guy says "Be Quran kheli del daran." So he's saying, which is actually shows how the complicated Iranian society is right now, right? He's saying that I swear to the Quran that these men are very brave, right? So when I was covering this on our Persian channel, so right before I came here, I was basically showing this on the Persian channel, right? So when I said when we got to this part, when they said I swear to the Quran that these men are very brave, a lot of people, some people in our chat were saying like, "Oh, fuck the Quran. Who cares about the Quran?" Or "I shit on the Quran," or stuff like that. That's what I heard. What our chat, we had those messages on our chat, right? However, me and other people in the chat believe that this is not the right response to this because, yeah, I am anti-Islam. Okay, I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm anti-Islam. But right now, anybody in Iran, anybody who is against the Islamic Republic and for Prince Reza Pahlavi is in our team, and we shouldn't be like nitpicky, like, "Oh, why are you swearing to the Quran?" Right? I think that was like not that is like we could. I mean, I'm as anti-Islam as it comes, right? But we shouldn't be. Right now, when we have so many Muslims who are uniting with us atheists and anti-Islam people against the Islamic Republic, our priority in Iran is to topple the Islamic regime, and we shouldn't divide among us because who's a Muslim in Iran, who's an anti-Islamic activist in Iran. That is not an issue right now. Okay, we could talk about that peacefully as much as we want. And we could basically be against Islam. You guys could love Islam. You could be actually don't care about Islam, most people. And again, in Iran, this is just a saying anyways. When people say, "I swear to the Quran," it's just saying. And I think these sensitivities are not helpful. Like they're being this sensitive to Islamic terms. The guy is praising these two officers, right? The cameraman, or somebody close to the cameraman, he's praising these two officers. Why are you shitting on him for swearing to the Quran? Like, I thought that is not helpful right now. We shouldn't be this picky about people's languages. I mean, we shouldn't ever be this picky. You could just be anti-Islam. Other people could be for Islam. So I was promoting the idea that don't be this sensitive about these people's language, right? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that was a good point to make or no? Because when I said that, a lot of the chat started agreeing with me. So he's saying khayli del daran means that a literal translation would be that they have a lot of heart. which is an Iranian. By the way, Iranians are very, very poetic. So every time I translate something to you, it's not actually the literal words that he said. So when I said he's saying they are very brave, what he actually said is that they have a lot of heart, which basically means that they're very brave. Good point. You guys agree? Okay. You guys agree with me. Guys, again, if you have any questions, I see a question. It in toilet paper too. What else do you think of the corner? Okay. Okay. That was not a question. All right, so this is a guy that a lot of people are saying is a Basiji. I don't know if he's a Basiji or not, but he's obviously anti-Pahlavi and anti-patriotic and anti the pro. It seems like he's pro-regime. So there was a butthurt person that showed up here, and a lot of people are saying, well, he's a Basiji if he's doing that. So I mean, he looks like a Basiji, to be honest. He's an Arzeshi. Yes, Arzeshi is good. Arzeshi, yes. You know, I'm actually grateful that this Arzeshi. So, guys, Arzeshi in Persian is some people, the very religious people who are pro-regime, they call themselves Arzeshi. Arzesh means value, right? So when they call themselves Arzeshi, what they mean is that they have values. They are value-driven people. They have principles. They have Islamic principles, to be precise. That's why they call themselves Arzeshi, right? But now in Iran, the fact, because so many Islamic people call themselves Arzeshi, pro-regime Islamic people call themselves Arzeshi has turned into a swear word. And even Muslims use it against pro-regime Muslims as a swear word. Like, oh, that motherfucker is an Arzeshi. And you could even see so we have Muslims who are against, many Muslims who are against the regime, and the word Arzeshi has now even turned into an insult word against people, really hyper-religious people that are pro-regime as well. So that's what the word Arzeshi means now, okay? I'm teaching you these things. Yeah, Neil Blaine saying translation, they suck. Yes, exactly. So I'm teaching you these things so you can become more familiar with the political environment in Iran, okay? Yes, exactly. Mehran is saying they believe in the values of the 1979 revolution. Those are the values that they believe. Oh yeah, and please like the stream so more people see this. All right, so this is not all of it. So this other video was recorded a bit earlier than this one. Here's a second video of another person in Iran's military, the Artesh part of the military, right? And even though this video was recorded earlier, it's being seen now. And this is another officer of the Artesh in Iran who is pledging allegiance and loyalty to Prince Reza Pahlavi. Well, as he calls it, King Reza Pahlavi, or King Reza Pahlavi II. So let's watch this. I mean, I'm not going to play this entire thing because it's 4 minutes, and I don't want to translate the entire 4 minutes. But let's just listen to the first few seconds of it. So this is happening, like, and then I have another video to show you as well. So he's basically, I think, saying, mentioning a line from the Shahnameh, written by an Iranian poet. His name was Ferdowsi. I think it's from Shahnameh, right, guys? It's from Shahnameh. He's saying basically, he's saying if every single one of us get beheaded, that is better than giving our country to our enemies. That's what that line of poetry means. So it's better for us to all get killed than give up our country to our enemy.
با درود به ملت بزرگ ایران و بنیاد رفیع و
Oh yeah, so people are saying it is from Shahnameh. Okay, thank you guys. Iranians are here helping me out.
شکوهمند شاهنشاهی ایران و با تقدیم
What? Hold on.
با درود به ملت بزرگ ایران و بنیاد رفیع و شکوهمند شاهنشاهی.
So he's giving salutations to the Iranian people and also to monarchy. He's praising the great institution of monarchy.
ایران و با تقدیم احترام به محضر شاهنشاه ایران اعلی حضرت رضا شاه دوم پهلوی.
And he's dedicating this to King Reza Pahlavi. Basically, Prince Reza Pahlavi. I mean, the reason why I say Prince Reza Pahlavi rather than King Reza Pahlavi is because Prince Reza Pahlavi himself doesn't want to be considered a king unless the Iranian people in a referendum choose for Iran to become a monarchy, and then they choose for him to be the king. That's why I'm just respecting his wishes not to be considered king until and if he becomes king.
مقدمتا باید خدمت شما ملت شریف ایران عرض کنم رژیم نامقدس و باطل ولایت فقیه هیچ نسبت و ارتباطی با نام و خاک و تاریخ و جغرافیای مقدس ایران جز خدعه و دروغ و اهانت و توهین و
So okay, I'm not going to translate the rest, but he just starts by saying, I need to start by saying that the unholy Islamic regime has nothing to do with the ancient deep-rooted Iran. Like, so he's saying the flawed the system of the guardianship of the jurists has no relationship with the great ancient nation of Iran. Right? Okay, so I'm not going to translate the whole. He basically goes through this. He dedicates his loyalty to the king. He talks really ill of the Islamic Republic, and then he asked for the Iranian people to come out and protest against the regime. So that's what happened with this guy. And then we have another. I have not one, not two, but 3 videos that all of them just came out like in the last 24 hours or so. Let me see if I have an English version of that. I think I have an English version of it. I can translate with AI, but I think Cheyenne already posted this in English as well. But I have 3 videos of IRGC officers. Oh yeah, here. Cheyenne posted an English version of this as well. So we could read this. Basically turning against the regime, coming out, and I mean, this guy has done this before and he has been arrested for it before. So this is not new for this guy, but he's doing it again. So I think breaking Sajjad. So this is a high-ranking officer in the Artesh, in the Iranian army. His name is Sajjad Azadeh of the Iranian army, or Artesh. Ground Forces has publicly announced his defection from the Islamist regime in Iran, pledging allegiance to Iran's lion and sun flag. He declared the great things that are underway, and that soon this regime of lies, deceit, and occupation will come to an end. This marks the latest in a growing wave of defections following the launch of the National Cooperation to Save Iran campaign by Iran's king in exile and national leader, His Majesty Reza Pahlavi II. Okay, the campaign aims to organize and coordinate mass defections from within Iran's armed forces. According to official reports, tens of thousands of Iranian military officers have already reached out to the campaign through secure communication channels established under the supervision and leadership of King Reza II. So here's another guy. So guys, things are happening.
درود بر شما هموطنان عزیز.
So he's saying salutations to you, my fellow countrymen.
سرهنگ آزاده هستم.
Sajjad Azadeh, you can see his name tag here.
هموطنان عزیز، سرهنگ آزاده هستم. سرباز شما، سرباز ارتش ملی ایران و سرباز.
So he's saying, I am your soldier. I am your soldier. I am the soldier of our country. So guys, it might seem like, why would they say that they're a soldier of the country? Because obviously, if you're a soldier, you're a soldier of a country. The reason why they're saying they're a soldier of the country, it means that, as opposed to the soldier of Islam or the values of the regime, that's what they mean.
ایران و سرباز پرچم شیر و خورشید.
Oh, he's saying, I'm a soldier of Iran and a soldier of the lion and sun flag of Iran, right? And this is the difference between IRGC and Artesh, because Artesh keeps talking about Iran, but the IRGC just keeps talking about Islam. That's the difference.
در روزهای آینده بیشتر با هم صحبت خواهیم کرد و بیشتر
He's like, in the coming days, we will speak with each other more. So he seems like he's talking about something is about to change. So a change is coming, and that's why he's saying we have in the coming days we have a lot more to speak.
با هم کار خواهیم داشت.
So the Torah is saying, Armin, he can show his face like that. Well, he has been arrested multiple times for videos like this, but this video is the one that is going to escalate his case the most, because his previous videos were against the regime, but now that he's pledging allegiance or like loyalty to the lion and sun flag, that's a new red line. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. But obviously, I mean, the two first officers that I showed you, they were both arrested, and the punishment for what they have done is execution. However, they might not get executed. Guess why? Guess why in the chat? Why they might get executed, but they also might not get executed. Basically, what could happen to them is anything between torture and execution and full-on release with no punishment. But let me know in the chat if you understand why they might actually get very little punishment. Let me know in the chat if you understand, because if you understand this, then you really understand Iranian politics. Okay, so let me know what you think.
اتفاقات بزرگی در راهه و
Oh, he's saying big things are about to happen.
به زودی تومار دروغ فریبکار.
No, they didn't hide their face. Like, even the ones who are hiding didn't hide their face. They might actually get released without any punishment. Think about it.
کاری و اشغالگری رو بزرگی در راهه و به زودی تومار دروغ فریبکاری و اشغالگری رو در هم خواهیم.
So he's saying in very soon we will end this occupation of lies. Yeah.
پیشید.
So this is pretty brave, by the way. Let me see if you guys guess correctly. Okay, somebody's saying they won't make him a martyr. It's a stage play. All right, so let me tell you what's happening. A lot of Iranians are very skeptical because of the experiences that they had, right? Because a lot of Iranians there's two reasons. First of all, the regime has experienced that previously when they executed people, they make them bigger. They made them bigger and they made people more united. They also have experienced is that if they treat somebody nicely and let them go, there are going to be a lot of conspiracy theories that this was part of regime's plan, right? So there are some, not a lot, but a few conspiracy theorists, Iranians on social media, where as soon as they see anything productive happen, they're like, oh, don't trust that. They are with the regime. They are part of the regime. It's a trap. They're just the first people who just jump out and say, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's part of the regime. It's part of the regime. And the regime has noticed that that's actually good. That's actually good if these idiots think that the people who are against me, some people come out on social media and say that they're actually part of the regime. So they notice that if I actually really torture and kill somebody, I turn them into a hero. But if I free somebody without punishment, there's going to be a lot of people like scratching their head, but like, Why? What? Of course, this is with the regime. Nobody who's with the regime will never let something like that go unless it's with them, right? The regime will never tolerate anything like this. So the fact that they didn't get any punishment must mean that they're just part of the regime's plan. So the regime has noticed that if I don't punish them, I make them divided. I make them think that this was part of my plan, right? Yes. So, do you guys understand that? Yes. So Mohsen is saying, Armin, this was because of the prince calls. Yeah, everything that is happening right now is because of Prince Reza Pahlavi. It's not a coincidence that as soon as a prince came up with a plan, and also a plan for what the Iranian people should do inside Iran, and also a framework for how the people within the armed forces could join this national revolution. Right after that, we're seeing all of this happen. All of this is happening because of the mobilization of the team of Prince Reza Pahlavi's team. By the way, that guy, let me actually look at this guy. This guy apparently had earlier videos before that he got arrested for, and this was one of his earlier videos with the lion and sun flag as well. So this guy has a reputation of coming out and making statements like this. But if you notice, this video that he just released recently, he's doing it in the middle of nowhere. Like, I think he might be in hiding, because he recorded it somewhere, like not in a city or anything. I think he might be in hiding right now in Iran. And you can see Iranian people are just doing artwork. This is basically just trying to these are people in Iranian mythology, like heroes of Iranian mythology. These are basically kind of like our Hercules and stuff like that. So they're trying to what this is doing is that it's linking these people to characters in Persian mythology, right? So heroes like that. Oh, and also this is their image of them getting arrested. Oh, I actually have a video of them being. So this is after their arrest. And one reason you could tell that these were actually officers of the Air Force is because they hide their name tag. You can see, like if this was just a fake uniform, they would not be hiding their name tag. Yeah, masks are hurt. Somebody saying, Armin, why Iranians don't protest with masks or head cover? I mean, they did. Like in the past protests, I saw so many people wearing masks. So yeah, let's actually show the translation here. Saying the people of Iran will stand alongside the army. The people of Iran will stand alongside the army. And by the way, the army here, if you look at the original Persian, is Artesh. It's not the IRGC, okay? They're talking about the Artesh, not any army, okay? The fights against the regime, the people of Iran will stand alongside the army that fights against the regime alongside the people. Arrest of 2 officers of the army's ground forces who raised the lion and sun flag. So this is what they got arrested for. Oh, by the way, you guys saw, I need to also make something very clear. I need you guys to understand a very important point. So let me see if I could do that for you guys. Let me actually bring this here. You guys know who Omid Sarlak is, right? You guys know who Omid Sarlak is, right? Oh, there we go. So this is Omid Sarlak. He was shot dead in Iran because of this video. So this is Omid Sarlak. Okay. This just happened earlier. This happened 10 days ago. Wait, was it 10 days ago? Yes. 10 days ago, he was shot dead. Basically, hours after he released this video, right? He posted this as a story on Instagram. He was, yes, Amir. He was shot in the car. All right, so tell me in the chat. I want to see if you guys understand why he was shot. So you could see there's 3 things happening here. please let me know if you could identify the three things that is happening in the video and then why he was shot dead. Let me just play this. He's doing this inside Iran. What you're saying, he's doing this inside Iran with his face showing. With his face showing. Okay. And he was shot dead hours after he posted this as a story on Instagram. Torah in the chat is saying, why would he do that? Because the Iranian people had enough, because they had enough, because these are very brave people that don't give a shit anymore. They want to get their country back. That's why he's doing that. All right, so there's three things that is happening. There's a text on the top right that says Marg bar Fasid Mullah Chapi Mujahid. And there's the photo of Khamenei that he's burning. And there is a speech being played. Okay? There's a speech being played. Okay? So the text in black on the top right says Marg bar Fasid Mullah Chapi Mujahid, which means death to three corruptions: the mullahs, the leftists, and the MEK. All right? Do you guys understand this? This is what this is a chant that a lot of Iranian patriotic Iranians say. Death to the three corruptions: the mullahs, the leftists, and the MEK. Right? So that's what's on the top right. In the middle, you can see Khamenei's picture being burned. And the background voice is a speech by the Shah, the former king of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, right? The king before the Islamic Revolution happened in 1979. So tell me, based on what I told you, why did they shoot him? Why did they shoot him? And also, they shot him hours after he posted this, and they tried to make it look like a suicide. Tell me in the chat. I mean, I know some Iranians already said that, but you guys know. Torah saying, why did he have to get unalived? Like, why did he have to die? Because they want to send a message. They don't want to hide. They want to show that they're standing for what they think, what they believe in. Okay, well, Sean is saying, I know zero about this, but I'm here for it. I'm trying to grasp what you're trying to say here. Okay, let me know if I'm doing a good job trying to explain this. I really appreciate you being here, trying to understand these things. I'm really grateful. I hope I do a good job in making this easy to understand. Yes, Amir, you're correct. All right, so a lot of people thought that, a lot of foreigners assumed that he was shot because he burned Khamenei's picture, okay? But again, these are not the red lines in Iran as much as they used to be. There's too many burnings of Khamenei's picture. No, Amir, you're usually right, actually. There's too many burnings of Khamenei's picture happening in Iran for this to become, it is still taboo, don't get me wrong. It's still dangerous, but it's not the greatest of all taboos. The reason why this man was shot was because he was getting this much attention as somebody who was pro-Pahlavi. The fact that he's also playing the speech of Mohammad Reza Shah or Mohammad Reza Pahlavi and doing this as a monarchist and doing this as somebody who supports Prince Reza Pahlavi, that is why this guy had to go. That is why this is the taboo. This is the red line. Okay. So really important to understand. Does that make sense? Let me know if you don't understand this, because I want everybody to understand what is happening here. And the reason why I'm showing you this, Omid Sarlak, so let me actually read what Shayan posted here. He posted this on, hold on. November 2nd. So this happened in November 2nd. Shayan said, breaking Omid Sarlak, a 25-year-old Iranian monarchist activist and student pilot from Ali Gudars, was arrested yesterday by IRGC terrorists after posting content critical of the Islamic regime in Iran on his Instagram page. Just hours later, his bruised and lifeless body was returned to his family. Omid was murdered under the brutal torture at the hands of the terrorist clerical regime. As with many other victims, the regime attempted to portray his death as a suicide. His final Instagram story is still visible on his account. Say his name, Omid Salak. So, guys, when he was dead for this story, the story was still playing. So stories, I think, on Instagram last for 24 hours. That's how fast they went after him. Like when he was dead for posting the story was still up on Instagram. Wait, let me see. We already covered this one. Covered this one. Yeah, so this is the arrest. That's why these two officers being arrested is such doing what they did is such a big deal, because they know what the consequences of what they're doing is. Like, I mean, at least the chances. And then, so we were happy to see that this was trending, not just on Iranian social media. This was trending on basically English media as well. You could see one of the trending on Twitter. It was 2 men in Iranian army uniforms raised pre-revolutionary flag at Tehran Metro, arrested. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to show you this one. Okay, so let me actually explain this one. This is actually pretty interesting. You could see some of the this is like a Basiji person, like an Arzashi, or basically a religious person who is very pro-regime. And he posted what's happening, like Arteshi officers defecting and pledging allegiance to Prince Reza Pahlavi and the lion and sun flag of Iran. And it looks like they're afraid. So let's actually translate what he's saying here. He's saying 2 هفته پس از انتشار دفترچه گارد جاویدان در اقدامی همزمان در دو مکان رخ داد، برافراشتن پرچم پشتی با لباس ارتش. So look, this is actually a huge admission, and again, this is from a pro-regime person, right? He's saying 2 weeks after the publication of the booklet of Garde Javidan, which means the Eternal Guard. So Prince Reza Pahlavi has just 2 weeks ago, published a booklet called The Eternal Guard, or Garde Javidan, which is to rise up against the regime and to unite and work with each other against the regime. Right? So, and this guy who is pro-regime is concerned because he's saying, like, it didn't, only 2 weeks after that booklet was published, we're seeing 2 incidents like this. So he's worried that it's working. And he's saying we could see in 2 different places the lion and sun flag is being raised 2 weeks after the publication of that booklet. And it says مهم نیست عاملان این پروژه نظامی باشن رو ببینن، مهم این است که این اقدام هم هنجارش کنن. Yeah, so he's basically mentioning concern. I'm not going to go into too many details about what he's saying, but he's basically concerned about what the fuck is happening, right? And this is concerning. Let me see what some other people are saying about all of this. Let me actually remove some of these because we covered this. We don't need to cover this. All right, so this guy's saying, breaking: the 2 Iranian security officers who raised the Shah's flag. What's that? It's Iran's flag. The Shah's flag in public were arrested for their bravery. This act proves something big. The regime is slowly losing its grip on its own forces. So that's this take. Let me actually look at other people's take. And also my favorite people. Where are my favorite people? Like, I'll bring my favorite people soon. So confirmed. So this was confirmed that these are actually IRGC, Iranian Army Artesh officers who publicly uh, defected in support of Iran's king in exile and national leader, His Majesty Reza Shah Pahlavi II, and raised Iran's lion and sun flag in the Tehran Metro have been arrested by the Islamist regime. Initial reports indicate they were members of Iran's air defense force. The terror regime's propaganda machine is panicking and is in denial. Let me see if I could. Yes, let me actually look at this one because I want to see what the Nufti organization has to say. The Islamic Republic is not a legitimate regime. It is an occupying power. Iranians are rising up to take their country back, and more the armed forces are turning on the regime. I know this guy. Let's retweet him. Okay, let's go. And this is the Nufti organization, National Union for Democracy in Iran. And they're saying, in a remarkable act of defiance against Ali Khamenei and the Islamic regime, two uniformed soldiers in the Iranian army have raised the pre-revolutionary lion and sun flag in the middle of one of Tehran's major metro stations. I want to see where my people are. My people. You know who I'm talking about, right? Oh, this is interesting. So let's look at my people. Okay, there's my people. So Goldie Ghameri. Goldie Ghameri saying two. Oh, yeah, that's the error. So she originally posted this. Saying new evidence of defections in occupied Iran, the Islamic Republic collapsing from the inside. Two Iranians dressed in military uniforms went into a Tehran metro station and flew the pre-Islamic lion and sun flag of Iran. Iranians responded with "Long live the king." All right. So she also posted the arrest video, them being arrested. So Goldie is saying the two Iranian soldiers were arrested by the Islamic Republic for the crime of holding the pre-Islamic flag of Iran. Remember this next time Islamists freely wave their Islamic terrorist flags in your countries, they won't treat you the same way they're in charge. So let's look at when they came and confronted them and arrested them. Let's actually watch that. So this is the arrest. There's no audio for this one apparently. So yeah, they came and took them away. All right. Also, where's my other people? I have more people. Where's my other people? Oh, there we go. Here's my other people. Emily Schrader. So Emily also posted this. This is a good sign for you guys to why you need to follow both Emily and Goldie. Okay. If you just follow Emily and Goldie on Twitter, you will probably be up to date all the time on all of this, right? So Emily saying resist. Two Iranian soldiers. Look at this. This is why it's really good that she clarifies. She gives you context. She's saying two Iranian soldiers, Artesh, not IRGC. Okay. So she gives you the context. Raising Iran's true flag, the lion and sun flag, in a dangerous display of protest at the metro station in Tehran. For context, the regime punishes protests like this with death. That's a very important context to have. Very important context. Okay, so that was that. All right, so I have something very interesting that is unrelated, but let me see if I have managed to show you everything about this news before I show you something that is really interesting but unrelated. But before that, let me see if you guys had any questions. I don't know what that is. So let me see. I don't think he knows what the king means. It doesn't mean soldier. What country is that? Iran? Okay, so I don't know what that question is about. Let me see. Do either of you have any hot takes on? Okay, I don't know why you guys are talking about Santa. Let me see. Oh, here's a question. Okay, here. Let me see. See, I will praise the fall and the freedom of the Iranian people, but fear that because the Ayatollah is old, the Islamists will just let him fall and build a new head under Jolani. What? Jolani? What does he have to do with Iran? Wait, guys, am I understanding correctly? You mean do you mean Rouhani? I think you mean Rouhani, right? Let me know in the chat. If you meant Rouhani, then your concerns are valid. The Islamists will just let him fall and build a new head under Rouhani. I think you meant to say Rouhani, but you said Jolani. If you meant Rouhani, that is a very legitimate concern, and yes, we're concerned about that as well. That's why we spend a lot of time attacking the so-called reformers in Iran, because they are it is possible for them to just pretend that everything has changed and they're not going to be a problem for the rest of the world and maintain the Islamic Republic, right? But let me know if you actually meant Rouhani, because Jolani has nothing to do with any of this. So I'm saying, who's Jolani? Jolani is al-Shara, Ahmad al-Shara, who's ruling Syria right now. But this has nothing to do with him. Let me see if there are any other questions. If there's actually, it's very interesting that you said that, because my post is about Jolani. That is the post that I want to show you, that has nothing to do with any of this, is about Jolani, and it's quite funny. Okay, let me see. Somebody else is saying, if IRGC falls, the West will immediately see the benefits. Islamist migration will be cut short, for one thing. Oh, the benefits! I cannot even count the benefits. I could do an entire show about the benefits. Yeah, a lot of the, well, not all, but a lot of this Palestine BS will stop. Yes, a lot of it, but not all of it, but obviously a lot of it. Yes. I mean, if the IRGC, guys, here's what needs to fall. It's not the Islamic Republic that needs to fall. It's the IRGC, because what your concern should be is that the IRGC could just basically, what you have to be worried about is if the IRGC stays in power and just gives the Islamic Republic a new paint job for you to think that everything has been solved. Okay. So there are, let me actually explain it. This is a little bit nuanced, but bear with me, okay? There are only 3 main political power, Iranian powers right now. 3. Everyone else is a joke. Everyone else is a joke. Okay? The separatists are a joke. The Mujahideen, the MEK, they're a joke. Every single other group is a joke. They're irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, right? There's only 3 powers remaining. One is Ali Khamenei and everyone in his team, okay? Including his son, including everybody on his side, like Sham Khani, everybody, okay? Then that's one. There are some other political powers in Iran, like Ghalibaf and Larijani and the Paidari camp, but they're not as powerful. Okay. So I'm not talking about military power, because the main military powers are, one, the Artesh, and the other one is the IRGC. And the IRGC is not just a military power. The IRGC is a military power, an economic power, and also a political power, actually. So they are a political force as well, right? But there's 3 forces, right? Khamenei and his camp. And then the second camp is the reformist. Basically, Rouhani, Zarif, Araghchi, Pezeshkian, Khatami, and all of basically the remaining people from Rafsanjani, from Rafsanjani's time, his camp. Okay, so we have Khamenei camp, we have the reformist camp, with the main person in that one being Rouhani right now, and then we have Prince Reza Pahlavi. There are these three. And the IRGC, which is the main political, military, and economic force in Iran, that basically has to choose to choose Khamenei as its face or Rouhani as its face right now. So it seems like, with all the pressure against the Islamic Republic, guys, this is getting a bit nuanced. Let me know if you want me to get this deep. With all the pressure against the current regime right now, it seems like the Khamenei camp is going to die out. Like, it's almost the end of the Khamenei's reign. Him and his people and his team, right? Like, and because that's also the face of IRGC, but even though Khamenei is the face, Khamenei is not the real power. IRGC is the real power. Khamenei is the face. So what IRGC would try to do, because all the pressure is too much. We have Israel attacking, we have US sanctions, and now international sanctions. There's no water. Like, there's a water crisis, there's an electricity crisis, there's a fuel crisis, there's an inflation crisis in Iran. There is a crisis in almost everything economic. There's a food crisis. There's crisis after crisis after crisis. So a lot of people are so unsatisfied with the regime that a round of protests seem inevitable, right? And another Israeli attack also seems to be inevitable, right? And also there's a lot of infighting with the regime right now. So everybody expects for the Khamenei team to lose. But just because Khamenei will be toppled, that doesn't necessarily mean that the IRGC will be toppled. The IRGC's plan seemed to be to do basically a paint job, a rebranding, by using the reformers camp as their new face so that they could maintain the Islamic Republic and stay in power. Basically, an Islamic Republic that, with its teeth pulling out, that is going to stop enriching uranium, that is going to stop meddling in the outside of its borders, that is going to stop, at least pretend to stop wanting to destroy Israel, and just keep the country Islamic Republic, but basically stop all the ambitions that Khomeini and Khamenei had, so that they could maintain their control over the Iranian people, over the Iranian natural resources, and maintain their control over the land. Right? And then, so those are the two forces that the IRGC could have: Khamenei as his face or Rouhani as his face. But then the third option is Prince Reza Pahlavi and the National Revolution, which will basically get rid of the Islamic Republic completely. And that's the team that we're on. So those are the three forces that we're dealing with right now. And if you understand what I just said, you understand Iranian politics more than 99% of the people out there. You would even understand it more than most analysts on Iranian affairs, if you understand what I just said. So these are the three scenarios. And by the way, I have to say that the toppling of the Islamic Republic completely with the IRGC is not guaranteed. The IRGC might actually become successful in doing a rebranding and maintaining its control. That's why it's so important right now for everybody to support Prince Reza Pahlavi, because if we think that this is guaranteed, we might not do enough to make it happen. If we think this is guaranteed, we might not do enough to make this happen. So this is not guaranteed. The IRGC might actually end up being successful of doing a rebranding job to maintain its control. So we have to be very, very worried about this. Let me see if you guys understand what I said in the chat. Was any of this useful, or was this too much information? Did I get too detailed? Was this was this understandable? So somebody saying, soon, won't this come to a head-to-head when the water crisis goes to no water? Yes, It seems like, well, it's not just that, it's that and so many other things. So there is not enough water in even in Tehran. Like this is getting really really bad. But it's not just water; it's also electricity. Also, fuel prices are going to be increasing, and there's so many Iranian people that will go completely bankrupt if that happens. And there are the prices, like it's just so many crises on top of each other, and none of them even by themselves we like inflation, the price of the dollar is like insane. It's insane. So yeah, all of that is happening. Yes, helpful. Okay, that was helpful. Thank you. All right, so let me actually, because all of this is actually hard to like is kind of mood killer. Yes, somebody's saying exactly, Armin. Well, thank you. I appreciate you agreeing with me. Yeah, guys, like it's like calling the situation that we have in Iran a water crisis is basically a huge understatement. It's not a water crisis; it's a complete water bankruptcy. Uh, um, it's so bad that the president in Iran, the you know, who's a nobody, he has no say in anything. He has actually come out and said that there is no water. That soon, like this is the president, like I'm not saying this, the president is saying this, that he's saying that soon the only solution would be for us to evacuate all of Tehran. Like this is a serious proposal from the president. And like he's saying, like there is no water to, there is no solution. Like there is, like he's like usually sometimes they come and pretend that there's a solution, but the president himself came out and said that there's actually so little water that there is no solution to this. And the only thing we could do is evacuate Tehran. And people were asking, well, evacuate to where? The other places also have water. Like where are you going to take? Are you going to take us somewhere that they have water? Because there's no water on other places either. So this is why this is so scary. I don't know what's going to happen. And guys, don't blame this just on global warming, because our neighbors are doing fine with water. Okay, this is most of Iran's water is being wasted because of bad management. Like a huge person, I forgot the exact number, but it's a scary number. A huge percentage of the water in Iran is being wasted due to bad plumbing. Like it's just being wasted in the way. And also another reason why we have such a crazy water bankruptcy in Iran is because the mullahs decided that we need to be self-reliant, and we need to be planting the things that Iranian people eat, okay, like rice, okay, and wheat, because the Shah was saying like planting expensive stuff that didn't require a lot of water, like asparagus. But Iranians don't eat asparagus, but they were expensive and they sold well to foreigners. And then the mullahs came into power. They were like, "What the fuck? Why is the Shah? Why are the farmers growing asparagus? That's not part of the Iranian diet. We should be growing the things that the Iranian people eat, like rice and watermelon." And they basically removed all those farms and they started planting rice and watermelon. And the problem is that they were cheap and they required a lot of water, right? But during the Shah, we had it perfectly. Yes, the Iranian people didn't eat them, but they sold so well. They brought in some, like we will sell it to foreigners for a shit ton of money, and then we had so much money and extra left over to buy all the rice that we wanted. But because the mullahs wanted to be self-reliant, they were like, we should basically plant our own rice. And it was for Iran's climate, it was not the right answer. Like it fucked us. Like if you look at the water in Iran, most of the water in Iran goes to farming. Like I think 70% of it. And we're basically farming the exact wrong things. We're basically farming in Iran. We're basically growing the things that are the most, they need the most water, which is insane. Like in a place in Iran, that's not what you should be growing. But because the mullahs were isolationists and they wanted to just grow the things that Iranian people eat instead of growing something else and sell it to foreigners and then use that money to buy the rice, then this is a major reason why we have such a water bankruptcy right now in Iran, right? Right. And now let's look at this video, which is kind of funny and it has nothing to do with today's show, but it was so funny that I thought, like, you guys have you guys seen this video? Let me know in the chat. This has nothing to do with today's show, but it was so funny and I had to come share it with you guys. Let me know if you've seen it, if you've seen this. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Mehmet is saying yep. Somebody's saying nope. Haven't seen it. Yeah. People who've seen it are laughing. I haven't seen this. Okay. So if you haven't seen this, you're going to. This is this is so funny. This is one of the funniest. This guys, I don't know what timeline we're living on, but this is something else. Okay. So should I give you the full thing before I play it? So Trump has this perfume that he has just released, and he says that this is the best perfume, obviously, in the whole world. And there's a male version and there's a female version. And Jolani, or Ahmed al-Shah, is here, and that's how you pronounce ain, by the way, in Arabic. You need to sound like you're puking. Okay, so Ahmed al-Shah is here, and he gives him the perfume, right? He actually puts it on him himself, and then he has the female version, and he said, "This is for your wife," and then it says, "How many?" He says, "How many wives do you have?" And he says, "Just one." I was like, and then he says, "With you people, I don't know." So now watch this. It's really funny. Okay, watch this.
This is men's fragrance. Look, hold it. Yeah. This is no. It's the best fragrance. Come here, I have more here, sir.
I think this is part of Jolani's. This guy is part of Jolani's cabinet. He's putting it on him as well.
Best fragrance. Come here, I have more here, sir. Okay. So what we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many?
The other one is for your wife.
And then the other one is for your wife. How many wives? One.
Did you guys see that? Like, how do you have what? Like, look at this. Did you see that? Like, you have one wife.
And then the other one is for your wife. How many wives? One.
How many wives? One wife? He said, like, you're one wife.
So put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many wives? One. You guys, I never know, right?
With you guys, we never know. You never know.
I never know.
Wait, one more time. This was fucking amazing. I like one more time. Just
This is men's fragrance. Look, hold it. Yeah. This is no. It's the best fragrance. Come here, I have more here, sir. Okay. So what we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many wives? One. You guys, I never know, right? I never know.
that's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of funny. I just wanted to show you guys. I don't know. This is by the way going viral everywhere. This is going viral everywhere. Anyways, guys. Oh, I have to also make an announcement. We have a meeting in about 15 minutes, and you can join. Here it is. We have a meeting. Who's coming to our meeting? Who is coming to our meeting? Let me put the link to our community. We're going to have a group call, and we're going to be talking to each other. So this is the link to our community. The link is basically World Liberty Battle Camp. The URL is school with the K, SKOOL.com/World Liberty. Okay. And if you come, and then again, I put the link in the chat as well. Oh, okay. John is coming. You guys are coming. Let me know in the chat who's coming to our meeting. If you go to our community, if you click on the calendar, you could see that we have a meeting happening very soon. And actually, if you go to the main page, you can see it says in 45 minutes. You could either access it by clicking on the calendar and seeing where our next meeting is, or you could just on the main community, there's this thing at the very top that says group call news discussion is happening in 45 minutes. You could also click on it there. And if you click on it, the link here, you will just be joining the meeting, right? And you can see our previous meeting went very well. Where's the link? Okay, here's the previous meeting that we had. If you play this here, a group identity where people feel, look, this was look we were so many people showed up in our last meeting, and we had the call together. We talk about the news, we talk about Middle East, we talk about Israel, we talk about US politics, we talk about whatever you guys want to talk about the news and about politics and stuff. So if you're interested in that, again, I'll put the link to our community one more time in the chat. And again, the link to it is in the description as well. So our next call, which is basically going to be something like this, is going to be happening. And you could open your mic. You could close your mic. You don't have to speak. You could just listen to our conversation. If you want, you could open your mic. If you want, you could open your camera, but you don't have to. If you don't want to, you can see two people here open their camera, but you don't have to. You could use a different name if you want. So if you, by the way, I'm going to be recording it and sharing it. So if you don't like that, if you don't want your name to be shared, just use a different name then, right? And also, other than participating in our group calls, you could also participate in the conversations that we have in the main community page, okay? We have some really good discussions here, and the community is actually growing. We're getting close to 200. I'm actually surprised. I thought like 20 or 30 people would join. Well, we're getting now close to 200, and you can see we have so much discussions here. You guys could post memes, political memes, art, your opinions. You could ask people questions. Look! I just start. Look at this. We just posted this. We just started this community, and we already have 161 conversations happening here. This is a very active community. So, yeah. So you guys are coming. And if you come, it would would appreciate it if you open your mic and speak. It would be very nice. Building this community, so it's not just me talking to you guys. You guys could have a place. And by the way, the community is free, right? So the community is free. You could come in, and you guys will have a place to also talk to other people, like-minded people who are interested in talking about these types of. It's a good place to find friends. If you're interested in politics of Middle East, North America, Europe, or anywhere else actually, and you want to find other people who are interested in talking about politics and making new friends, this is a good place to do it. Yeah, so check it out. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Don't forget to like the stream. I hope that today's stream was informative. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But don't leave without liking the stream. And don't leave without subscribing if you're new here. Subscribe and hit the bell notification so that YouTube tells you every time we go live. And also recommend our YouTube channel, Atheist Republic, to everyone as much as you can. Okay? All right. So I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes in the group call. So hope you guys show up. All right. Bye, guys. And say it with me. I'm Israel Chai. Javicha. See you guys on the next stream. Bye, guys.